Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a spoiler-free review of the new Frankenstein movie. So I was pretty excited about this one. When I first ventured into watching the Universal Monster movies just a few years ago, Frankenstein was definitely a standout for me. So, really any type of adaptation of that story that we get, I definitely want to check out. I was also really excited for this one because of the fact that Guillermo del Toro was going to be part of it. And I think that he just has such a level of class to most of his films that I have seen. So it was really awesome to hear that he was going to be the director for this one. And most of his movies, I just think, are just stunningly gorgeous to look at, and this one is no different. I think that there are amazing set pieces. In particular, Frankenstein's tower is just amazing. It seems old but modern at the same time. It's very hard to explain. You would have to just watch the movie to check that out. I think just a certain aspect of the design of it just looks more modern to me, but it also just is older as well. It's strange, but I really loved it. And I also loved just some of the landscape stuff that we get here. There are some scenes that take place more on like the countryside, and it just looks stunning. It's so green and mountainous as well. And then we also get some scenes that are near the North Pole. So it's basically just taking place on the frozen water, and there's a giant ship there as well. And I love that. I loved that it kind of feels like a winter horror movie for me. That is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. As I said in my last video, I have been definitely watching a lot of Christmas stuff, and I'm just in that mood for winter horror as well. So I think that there are some really amazing performances in this movie. They have a fantastic cast. I have seen so many of them in multiple movies, and they've always done well in what they have been in previously. And in particular, there were three performances that really stood out for me in this one. First of those would be Oscar Isaac playing Victor Frankenstein. I think that he does a fantastic job here, as he does in everything I've seen him in. I think that he does a wonderful job being the mad scientist, although there's so much more to him in this than that. You get to really see the reasoning behind, why he is trying to bring life to a creature. And I'm not going to get into that since we're not talking spoilers or anything like that, but there is just a lot more depth to him in here for sure. Then Mia Goth playing Elizabeth. I think that she did a wonderful job. This honestly might be one of my favorite performances from her. I know that she is obviously a standout in the X trilogy. However, this one is just a really beautiful performance and more subtle, and I really liked that for her. I think that she was just a wonderful character. And then the biggest standout for me was definitely Jacob Elordi as the creature, or Frankenstein's monster, whatever you would like to refer to him as. I have seen him in quite a few things, and I always thought that he did pretty well in those, but I was kind of unsure about how he would do in this role, but he definitely brought different layers to this performance. I enjoyed it very, very much. I think that, he's obviously this big hulking character that can easily take people down, but he's also very introspective and subtle and beautiful in one. I think that he is just trying to figure out why he was brought to life and what life is, what it's like to be a human. And I just really loved all of those aspects to his performance. He did a fantastic job. I think that we'll definitely see a lot more from him after his performance in this movie. So another thing that I really loved about this one was the score. It was unbelievably beautiful. And that's not necessarily something that I even think about going into a movie about the music or anything, but when we have a score that is really amazing like this one. It just stands out to me when I'm watching those scenes, and there were definitely plenty of different moments that I was picking out the score here, and just, I loved it. I loved everything about it. I think that this one was a really, really good adaptation of the book. I had read that for the first time either in 2022 or 2023. I can't remember. That year, I had just decided that I was going to read a whole bunch of books, and prior to that, I had barely read anything. So it was just a big goal for me. And I think that Frankenstein was the one that I read in maybe October that year. And I was pleased by that, and I think that other people that have read the story themselves would be pleased with this as well. It just feels like such an epic film, and it is a 2.5 hour movie, but it doesn't feel like any of the runtime isn't warranted. I didn't feel bored at any point in this, and I was a little bit worried about that just because of the fact that it is a period piece, and that's not always my typical thing. I really have to be in the right mood and mindset to go into a period piece. But this one, it was just very easily digestible, I think. So, I don't know if any of you guys have gotten to see this in the theaters or if you watched it on Netflix like I did. We didn't get that in my town or anything. So I had to go the Netflix route, but I would highly suggest if you do have a chance still to go see this in theaters that you take it just because it is so stunning to look at. I think that any Guillermo del Toro film is going to be that way, so it's not really a surprise or anything. But yes, so definitely check it out in theaters if you can, but if you can't, still check it out on Netflix as well because it is just absolutely worth your time and just such an excellent film. This one was definitely a 5-star one for me when I rated it on Letterboxd. So, what did you think of this film if you have watched it yet? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it as much as maybe some other adaptations that we have gotten? Let me know that down in the comments. Just do try to keep it spoiler free for everyone. Also, let me know if you got to see it in theaters or if you have watched it on Netflix like I did. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet for more horror content. I do post 2 new videos each week. You can follow me on Instagram for updates on my channel as well as additional horror content. And you can follow me on Letterboxd to see what I have been watching lately and my brief thoughts on any of those movies. And I also wanted to say that if you have any video suggestions for me, I would love to hear any of those that you might have. You can either comment them on any of my videos or you can also DM me on Instagram. That's a good way to get a hold of me. I really do enjoy talking to those of you that have reached out so far. I think that it's really fun to get to know all of you. And if you do want to follow me on either of those socials, you can check in my channel description because I have both of those linked in there for you. I want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting me so far. It doesn't go unnoticed. My name is Devin. This is Carpenter Hill. Thanks for watching.